Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Yes, a dream attributed to Shaykh al-Islam Mufti Muhammad Taqi Usmani hafidhahullah regarding seeing the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam and the coronavirus has been going viral since last night. I think a bit of context is needed in this regard. What basically happened was that there's a very famous TV channel called Sama TV in Pakistan. They interviewed Shaykh al-Islam Mufti Muhammad Taqi Usmani hafidhahullah ta'ala regarding the current situation we're in and the coronavirus disease, etc. This interview was approximately 20 minutes, in which they sort of had a video link to Shaykh al-Islam Mufti Muhammad Taqi Usmani hafidhahullah. The person interviewing him asked various questions about prayer, Jumu'ah Salah, how they should perform Salah in the masjid, wudu, people should perform at home. He said Sunnah prayers should be performed at home, people shouldn't be shaking hands. Basically taking all the means of protection and then making tawakkul, reliance on Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So all of these things were discussed. And then after that, and the person asking the questions asked him that are there any established du'as from the Quran and Sunnah that we can recite to protect ourselves and our family and our people and our country. So he said, yes, I did write many of these du'as and supplications and I sent it to you, he said, to the TV channel, which they were actually playing on the clip whilst the interview was taking place. But he still repeated them. He said the famous du'a of Yunus alayhi salatu wassalam. La ilaha illa ant subhanak inni kuntu min al-zalimin. Very effective, he said, very beneficial in such situations. He also mentioned the famous dua, which should be a habit of every Muslim every day, which is based on the hadith. Bismillah alladhi la yudurru ma'a ismihi shay'un fil ardi wa la fis sama' wa huwa as-sami'ul alim. He also mentioned that Ayatul Kursi should be recited. He also mentioned a practice of Abdullah ibn Umar radiallahu anhu, the companion of the Messenger sallallahu alaihi wasallam, that he would write a specific dua on a piece of paper and he would tie that dua on small children. So all of this was mentioned. And also towards the end of the clip, he mentioned that the most effective part or the most effective thing as treatment is to be in wudu and 5-time prayers and ruju' ila Allah, connecting to Allah, being steadfast in religion. There's nothing more powerful than that. Being connected to Allah, avoiding sins, establishing 5-time prayers, even though we're taking precautions in terms of not going to the masjid or we go but we don't perform sunnah, etc. But being basically punctual with our deen. And then he said one new thing, so he was mentioning all these different supplications and dua, and then he said there's one new thing which has just I would like to share with you, was that I was contacted by a brother who is a pious brother connected to the Tabligh Jama'ah, so he goes out in Tabligh Jama'ah. He phoned me. This is Shaykh al-Islam Mufti Taqi Usmani hafidhahullah saying that he called me and he said he saw a dream of the Messenger sallallahu alaihi wasallam in which the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam said to this person that in order for protection from the coronavirus disease, recite 3 times Surah Al-Fatiha, 3 times Surah Al-Ikhlas, and read Hasbunallahu wa ni'mal wakil 313 times. And the Messenger sallallahu alaihi wasallam told this person in the dream to convey this message to Shaykh al-Islam Mufti Taqi Usmani hafidhahullah. That's it. That's what he mentioned. And then Mufti Taqi Usmani said that this brother, who called me, he said, look, I'm sharing it with you and I think you should share it with the people so that more people, because you have a greater audience, more people will come to know of it. And then Mufti Taqi Usmani said, we should also keep in mind that dreams are not a source of evidence in Sharia like the Quran or like the Sunnah. However, these are glad tidings, mubasharat, and if people act upon it, then inshallah it could be beneficial. Inshallah, we can act upon it. This is the basic background and context. Now, what's happened here is that out of that 20-minute clip, people around the world, they've completely just removed all the other parts of this 20-minute interview. Everything about Salatul Jummah, etc. Okay, that's fine. But even the question that what du'as and supplications we should recite, the questioner asked, all the other du'as that the Messenger the Shaykh al-Islam Mufti Taqi Usmani hafidhahullah mentioned from the Messenger sallallahu alaihi wasallam in the hadith and in the Quran, etc. All of that was cut off, and just the bit about the dream was cut short and made go viral. People wrote articles around it, people transcribed it, and it's as though like it's a complete massive news, and also did not mention the disclaimer that the messengers was mentioned, the disclaimer that Mufti Taqi Usmani hafidhahullah mentioned, that keep in mind that dreams are not a source of evidence like the Quran and Sunnah. So we have to keep this in mind. If someone relates something, then relate it in the full context. That he was mentioning various du'as, and then at the end of the discussion, yes, this dream is there as well. Inshallah, no problem, we can act upon it. But to think that what's mentioned in the dream is supersedes what is actually mentioned in the hadith, then that is wrong, and that's the opinion of Shaykh al-Islam Mufti Taqi Usmani hafidhahullah, and that's his practice, and I've seen all his life this is his way as well. And this is the reason why he doesn't really mention too many dreams, because people can go overboard with them. So if there's a dua mentioned in one of the hadith books, and there's one dua that someone saw in a dream, our attitude, sadly, we feel that the dream dua is more powerful, more effective than the dua in the hadith, which is wrong, because the reason is the human mentality is that we're thinking that the Messenger sallallahu alaihi wasallam is in the dream like he's telling us now. The other one he said 1400 years ago. But this is the point, that what is established is far more powerful and supersedes anything that is seen in the dream. Dreams are something you can act upon, but they're not a source of evidence. And this is how we should take this, inshallah. And this is the context and background of the dream that was seen by a pious person in Pakistan or somewhere, and he related it to Shaykh al-Islam Mufti Muhammad Taqi Usmani hafidhahullah ta'ala. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala grant us all well-being, protect us and our families and our loved ones from illnesses and diseases and sicknesses. Ameen ya Rabbil Alameen. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.